In this digital collaboration video, we will talk about how you can use the three main Google tools, Google Docs, Google Slides, and Google Sheets, in a collaborative way. Throughout the video, I will use different examples and templates. These are only meant to model the digital collaboration tools you have at your fingertips. Let's start with Google Docs. You're already aware of the fact that you can share editing rights to students if you wish. But how is that useful? Take a look at this template. It's a simple discussion question template. The teacher would add the question to the top of the table, and the students would give their answers in the table below. Students would also have the opportunity to use the commenting feature here. Let's say that you or another student has a question about a response. They would simply highlight the text of the response. It would probably be down here in this table, but for example, I'm going to highlight this text, and this comment button would show up. Simply click on this and you can leave your comment over here. Additionally, if you want to mention someone specific or draw a specific person's attention to this comment, you can use the @ symbol and type in their email address, or start typing in their email address, and their name will pop up. This will give them a notification that they were commented on in a Google Doc. Students in 7 through 12 should get the email notification letting them know that they were mentioned in a comment on a document. This comment feature can be used in many different assignments. You can have this in small groups sharing this. You can have this in full class groups sharing this, or you could do this one-on-one with a student as you go through their individual document. The other way that you can collaborate, either with one-on-one, small group, or an entire class in Google Docs, is using the suggestion feature. So you know that when you share a Google Doc, you can either share it giving full editing rights or just viewing rights. You can also share it giving suggestion rights. So for example, on this doc, if I wanted to share this doc and only give someone commenter rights, I would simply go to share, just like I have before, type in the name or names, and then over here on the right, change the editor to commenter. When I change that, these people or this person, whoever, will have power to comment only or give suggestions. For that example, I'm going to switch over to this sample essay that I have here. So let's say you have your students writing an essay and you want to have them peer review. To do this, the student would simply share using that commenter feature to another student. Once there, the other student could go through and read the document, and if they see something they would like to suggest, as long as they see suggesting mode up here, they could highlight the part of the text that they want to suggest and start typing in. You notice that the new text takes over and the old text has a line through it. It's not permanently gone. It's just showing that this new typing is what is being suggested. They can also leave a comment over here explaining why they left that comment. So in this document here, I am only suggesting things. I am not fully editing this document. The owner of this document, when they come back to it, would have the option on my comment to either click this check mark, which would be green for them, to keep my suggestions, or they can simply click this X and it all goes away and goes back to how it was. That's the suggesting comment feature in Google Docs. Let's move on to Google Slides. Here we have the same options as in Docs. I can do that same commenting feature where if I select and then I come up here and find my comment, I can leave my comment there just like I could in Docs. I can also share this using the suggestion feature too. Another popular collaboration idea with a lot of teachers with slides is to share one slide deck with either a small group or an entire class and assign each student a specific slide number to work on. In this example, I have a template of an Instagram post. I might use this activity as a character trait activity. I might assign each student in the group a different character from a text and have them create an Insta post for the character that the character might have posted based on the traits that we read in the text. I can use the idea of assigning each student a different slide number in here that they can go down through. When it's all finished, students can all go back through and look at each other's and either comment on or make comments or just simply lay their eyes on it. Inevitably, you're going to have someone who will probably edit on top of someone else's slide, either accident or on purpose. You can simply use the revision history to go back and or check to see who it was. The revision history is right up here at the top. It'll tell you who the last person to edit was and how long ago. If you click on it, the right sidebar shows up and you'll have a very detailed report of what changes were made. As you click on these changes aren't permanent, but I can go back through and see who it was who edited it and what happened. So if I go all the way back to the first one here, my name disappears. If I want to see exactly when I put my name there, I can start clicking through these. On some of them, you'll have a little arrow off to the side that will expand and drill down even farther to what happened. If you're doing this in a shared with multiple people, this list will be much longer, but you can click through all of these. If I want to find the version that I want to restore, I simply click on it and click Restore this version. This is good and bad. This will bring back the version that I had on the specific slide that I'm on, but any other work that was done before that is going to be lost as well. Something to keep in mind, but it is possible to go back and or find out who did it. But this would be a great tool as well for collaboration with students. Let's take a quick look at some collaboration ideas within Google Sheets. Of course, here I have the same commenting features that I had in Google Docs and Google Slides. Additionally, I made a template here just to show how you can use Google Sheets as a kind of like a task list for your students in group projects. Here I made a simple table. The students would type in the task that needs to be completed, the name of the student who is working on it, perhaps a deadline, and maybe even a progress section so that group members can see who needs help or each group member can report out what they've done. That's just one idea of how you can use Sheets to kind of use as a collaboration piece. Okay, so we've talked about how to use these different tools in a few different ways. Now let's look at how to get the students into groups or share a document so that the groups can edit it. So let's say I'm going to use this. I'll get rid of this comment here. I want to use this within small groups. I don't want to assign it to the entire class, but maybe I want to have 4 groups of 5 or however many I've got. I'm going to start by making my template and making a copy. So file, make a copy of it. I won't do it here for time's sake, but I'd make 4 copies for my 4 different groups, and I would probably number them. So I knew my group numbers, and for me as the teacher, I know which group is which. I might add their names on this document, I might not. Then in Google Classroom, I'm going to create an assignment, of course, give it a title and any directions or instructions, add from Google Drive, and I'm going to go find the document that I want. So this is going to be group 1. So I click on my group 1, insert, and I would change this to students can edit file. Now I only want specific students. I don't want the entire class. I want small groups. I'm going to pick the students group on this. So I'm going to go to students. I'm going to unselect all of them, and I'm going to go through and handpick the ones I want in group 1. Once I have that done, then I can push assign. I would repeat those steps for all of my groups, but I would not give them access to the same number 1 digital collaboration ideas. I'd have number 2 and number 3 for the different groups. When the students go into Google Classroom, they will only see the assignment that they have been assigned. They won't see all the group's assignments. This way, all students in this group have added access to this. The other way you might do it, if you want to give the students more freedom, is send this out as view only, have them make a copy of it, and have them share it amongst themselves. That way they can do it themselves. Or maybe it's a situation in which you don't have a template, you just want them to start their own copy or their own blank Google file, either doc, slides, or sheets, and share it out that way too. Again, these are just some simple ways that you can use the 3 big Google tools to collaborate with you and your students.